Tonight I'm going to tell you about a global scandal. It is about the Vatican and its predator priests. For years now we have heard about and read about this, dismissed it as a remote story. But abusive Catholic priests are everywhere. And I'm not making a sweeping statement. I have 3 stories to share with you. The Catholic Church in England and Wales ignored close to 3,000 cases of child sex abuse. 3,000, you heard that right. In America, the former Archbishop of Washington, D.C. sexually abused minors. And in France, an ambassador of the Vatican molested 4 men. It does not end there. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, we will describe the extent of the crisis in the church, how countries across the world have reported cases of sexual abuse against priests, and how a wall of secrecy protects these predators. This is our cover story tonight. Let me start with the most damning report that has come from the UK. This is about Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the head of the Roman Catholic Church in England and Wales. He is being accused of hiding paedophile priests. The United Kingdom conducted an independent inquiry into child sexual abuse. That report is out and the details are shocking. The inquiry looked into complaints from 1970 in fact to 2015. And in this period, the church received more than 3,000 complaints. 3,000 complaints of child sexual abuse in the UK. The complaints were against more than 900 individuals connected to the church. More than 1,750 victims and complainants were involved. What did the church do? It brushed all these complaints under the carpet. In fact, they covered up the entire scandal. When someone complained against a priest, they would move the priest to another parish without any supervision, without any probe or corrective measures. Some of these priests continued to prey on children. And in all these years, the Archbishop did nothing, including Cardinal Vincent Nichols. He inherited this problem from his predecessors. He did nothing to fix it. Instead, he became a part of it. He tried to suppress new cases. The inquiry found that since 2016, more than 100 allegations of abuse have been reported. What did Pope Francis do about this? Again, nothing. Yes, the Pope too was aware of what was going on in the UK. Reports say Pope Francis asked Cardinal Vincent Nichols to stay on, despite a report that criticized the Cardinal's leadership. The findings were clear as water. The church was prioritizing its reputation over protecting children. And the Pope looked the other way. What's worse is that this is not a one-off case. The same story repeats in different countries with different priests. Let me tell you our second story. It's about a disgraced former cardinal. The Archbishop of Washington, Theodore E. McCarrick. He molested a 16-year-old way back in 1971. That case was covered up. And instead of being punished, this cardinal was promoted. Did the Vatican not know about his abusive ways? Of course they did. Pope John Paul II, the previous pope, gave him a promotion even when there were persistent complaints against McCarrick. Pope Francis faces the same charge. But in 2018, he ordered an investigation against McCarrick, a welcome step, but a much delayed one. This probe came more than 45 years after the first case of abuse and more than 2 decades after the first complaint.
The McCarrick report is remarkable because it points to failings by a succession of popes, particularly John Paul II and Benedict XVI, who allowed McCarrick, along with Vatican officials, to rise through the ranks of the church in the United States, despite the fact that there were consistent rumors that he had practiced sexual misconduct with adult seminarians.
The Vatican's dirty linen is being washed in public now. Let's bring you case number 3. It's of a former ambassador of the Pope to France, Archbishop Luigi Ventura. 4 men have accused him of sexual assault. A trial has kicked off in Paris without the accused. That's right. The Archbishop is not present in the trial against him. Apparently, it's too dangerous for him to travel from Rome to Paris because of the Wuhan virus. The Archbishop's lawyers produced a doctor's note in his defense. The trial has begun without him. What does the Pope have to say about all this? He spoke out for the first time today. His comments were limited to the McCarrick case. Once again, he pledged to rid the Catholic Church of sexual abuse.
Yesterday, the report on the painful case of ex-Cardinal Theodore McCarrick was published. I renew my closeness to the victims of all abuse, and I renew the efforts of the Church to eradicate this evil.
That's all. The Pope's response is far from adequate. Last year, in America alone, it was found that almost 1,700 priests, 1,700 priests and clergy accused of sex abuse are unsupervised. Now, add the cases from around the world, and the number is staggering. The number of priests accused of sexual abuse. And these revelations are shocking. These are not men of God. These are predators. They should be tried in public by a court of law and not behind a veil of secrecy in the Vatican. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching. WION, World is One.